One of the guys that really caught my attention in week one is, and I've continued to try to check on every week in terms of film and trying to show you guys some film of him, is Alex Highsmith, outside linebacker for the Steelers. He's just exploding in terms of every aspect of his play. Last year had 15 quarterback hits and 6 sacks in the entire season. This year he has 5.5 sacks and 8 quarterback hits already. Maybe it's 9 quarterback hits, excuse me. He's playing at an unbelievably high level. He had another sack in week 4 in the Steelers' disappointing loss to the Jets. He's got 24 tackles this year through 4 games. He had 74 tackles all of 2021. He's a complete player. And I've seen 3 times this season already. I'm only going to show you one of the plays where, for whatever reason, Alex Highsmith comes off the field and bad things happen. I don't know how to explain that dynamic. I can't prove it. There's no data associated with it. He just looks like one of those guys that when he comes off the field for this Steelers team, particularly since they don't have TJ Watt, they don't play as high quality a defense. This little 4-3 look that the Steelers show here is interesting from the Steelers. They got a 4-man front, even though we know that Highsmith is an outside linebacker. I think this guy's an outside linebacker too. That's Bush, Mack, and Spillane, 3 inside linebackers. So that's a somewhat new look for the Steelers, if you ask me. I haven't watched enough film of their coverage stuff. To be honest with you, I've been getting a lot of end zone angle film, which you'll see in this video, to watch Highsmith. Just love how violent he is. The tackle actually gets a punch first, as you'll see from the end zone angle here in a moment. Spillane. Highsmith actually just kind of reminds me of Watt here, in that he just keeps going. He just keeps coming forward and attacking, and there's just no way to stop his first, second, and then his third move in each particular play. He's playing with an incredibly high motor, a very strong player. You can see it in some of the plays here, and particularly against the run. I think the tackle gets his left hand on Highsmith first and even kind of dislodges him in terms of balance. You'll see it right there when Highsmith steps with his right foot and then gets punched. You can see his shoulder kind of get turned, and it impacts his ability to try to swat with his left arm. But it kind of doesn't matter. Highsmith just plays with such a motor. Now, no one is open, and he gets a sack on Zach Wilson. Like I said, 5.5 sacks. I think he had 3.5 sacks or 3 in the first week against the Bengals. 3-point stance here in his normal alignment. He gets chipped and then takes off all the way across the field. And you may say, well, coach, this doesn't matter because, you want to call this a quarterback pressure, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to pull this back and I'll let the play finish in a second. Look where he is right now when Zach Wilson takes off. He's all the way over here, almost by the numbers on the other side, and just keeps playing football. There is just something to be said for that. You would think every NFL player would keep playing football, but I think Alex Highsmith takes it to a different level, at least in terms of what he's doing so far this year. Now, the rest of the play, it doesn't matter, Coach. Zach Wilson's just throwing this ball away. It doesn't matter what Alex Highsmith does. Yeah, it does. Trying to force Zach Wilson to throw the ball with a little bit more discomfort, a little bit more pressure on him, damn near got him an unbelievable pick. And I'm not sure, looking at this play, how it didn't. I know Minkah Fitzpatrick had a pick 6 later in the game. I don't think this one counted, but I hope I'm wrong because it looks like it should have been completed to me. So, great play by Minkah Fitzpatrick. I don't know how you can even quantify how well Minkah Fitzpatrick is playing right now, and I think Alex Highsmith falls in the same category. I'm not sure how they don't block him on this play. There's a tight end in motion who leaves him to go get a safety, number 34. Then there's a pulling right guard who also leaves him untouched, and Highsmith dips under it. Now, you also have a great fill by this linebacker here, 51. I think it's Mack. Huge pickup for them. And then Highsmith is closing down from the right side. The guard has pulled and wrapped. Presumably doesn't think that Highsmith's going to turn this back in at like a J angle or an L angle, but he can, man. He's just that athletic. And I think a part of it is he's willing to take on blocks. Watch this tight end. Highsmith tries to take him on with his outside shoulder, and at the last second, the tight end veers inside to go get the safety. And what that does is it brings Highsmith's momentum down here, parallel with the line of scrimmage, and he's able to make a play that maybe he wouldn't have been able to make if he tried to avoid that block. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying, or hopefully I explained it well. He's trying to take on the block, and by doing that, it kind of takes his momentum down toward the play. He's playing at a high level. A lot of things are working out for him right now. I'm not sure why they ever take him off the field unless he just gets tired, because he ain't on the field here, and this is a trick play that the Jets pull. Now, this will probably get this video hit by the NFL and Baldy for copyright stuff. So if you've ever considered supporting me on Patreon or anything like that, please consider doing that, because it's a constant worry and fear when you create content on the NFL that you're going to get hit by Baldy's breakdowns for using a play that he's already talked about. And I would imagine that he probably did a breakdown and talked about that play. I don't watch his stuff. All right, so back to Highsmith being on the field, right outside linebacker, which is his typical position when him and TJ Watt are both there. Almost gets a sack. Zach Wilson spins out of it. Spillane is able to get there and finish him off. For me personally, like watching Highsmith play, I wish he had been able to finish off this sack. I want to see the dude end up with like 20 sacks. Not because I don't like TJ Watt, but just because it seems as if the Steelers just produce these outside linebackers every 2 or 3 years, guys that play at a high level and kind of come from nowhere at certain points. James Harrison, I guess, will be one of them. But, they're going back decades, they've had effective outside linebackers. And I just want to see Highsmith be another one. I'm not sure the NFL wants to see him and a healthy TJ Watt playing at the same time, because I don't know how you'd throw on them. Those guys are both incredible pass rushers. Down here on the goal line, now he is on the field for this touchdown. So every play that I show isn't going to be a win. I still think he's playing at an incredibly high level. You'll see an example of his strength here. That's why I included this one. Watch him just try to frame up this tackle with his left arm and just push him back. Zach Wilson has enough time to get the pass off, however, and get a touchdown. I mean, great comeback by the Jets. Steelers are struggling right now, trying to find a spark, going with Kenny Pickett at quarterback. Can't blame him. All right, last play that I'm going to show you. Here he is at right outside linebacker again in their nickel set. So not their base 3-4. He just finds a way to the football. He's kind of getting dislodged and expanded for a moment. This expanded meaning pushed back, so there's a little bit of a running lane here. But like I said earlier, he always seems to be able to redirect and reorient himself back to the football. And you also have a great job here by this D-tackle Wormley, taking on this combo block, then splitting it late, forcing the running back to try to go back against the grain. And Highsmith is able to collapse back inside and get involved and make the play. You guys let me know if you think as highly of Alex Highsmith's play so far in the 2021 season as I do. Like I said, 24 tackles through 4 games, 5.5 sacks, I think 8 or 9 QB hits or QB pressures, which is about half of his production in that regard as all of 2021. He's almost surpassed his 6 sacks from 2021, and we're not even a quarter of the way through the season. I think you could be looking at the next guy for the Steelers at outside linebacker that's going to get paid a heck of a lot of money, and it looks worth it to me. Let me know what you guys think of my film breakdown of Alex Highsmith in the comments section.